Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm going to talk a bit about the court cards, but I just wanted to say, sorry I've been away for so long. It's just typical me, start something new and then not be able to get back to it for ages. But hopefully I've got a little more space and I'll be able to make some more videos for this channel. So I asked on Instagram if anyone had any questions they would like answered or any more information on anything to do with the boutique, and I had lots of replies about things to do with reading the tarot, and one of them was how do you read the court cards, and it's a tricky area, and one that took quite a while for me to master my own understanding of the court cards, and I think it is something that takes a while for you to develop your own intuition around what they mean in a reading and when they turn up, and also to do with what kind of reader you are. So the lovely Levi from Masculine Intuition Readings has started off this tag because he has a really interesting way. He reads in a sort of more Thoth kind of tradition. So he reads the court cards as energies. So go and check out his video if you haven't already seen it. And he talks about people who read in a more predictive way, and that is the way that I read tarot. I do understand why people want to stay away from predictive readings or they don't feel comfortable doing it, but I've been reading tarot for probably over 30 years now, which makes me feel very old. And the way that I came to it was that my mum gave me her copy of the Rider-Waite-Smith, and I read the Little White Book, and then I read lots of other books that were based on, personality meanings of the court cards and predictive reading of the tarot. And when you're a teenager, you just want to know, does he like me? Am I going to get the place in university or whatever you need to know? You're asking the tarot for something that either is in yourself or the tarot was not going to definitely answer, is it? And also it's very hard to predictively read tarot for yourself, and it's only when you start reading for other people that you tune into your intuition, or I do anyway, tune into your intuition, and the cards become like a conversation between you and your intuition, and you know everything backwards, and so then the positions that they fall in mean different things to you. But I also, when I read tarot, I do receive intuitive messages and pictures and words, so no reading is ever the same, especially to do with court cards. So just in brief, how do I read court cards? Well, I do read them as energies, as much in the same way as Levi, but slightly different. So I would say the court cards progress through life. So you start off with the Page, which is a naive energy. It's curious, it wants to know everything, it needs to find out more about life. They're into learning, mud kitchens in the garden, that kind of thing. They're just little kids. They can be actual children sometimes, and I do read them as messengers as well, or messages, just actual messages. So I would say that if you are going for a job interview, one of my cards for the sign of that is the Page of Pentacles. That always turns up as job interviews or hearing about a job interview. And it's interesting because I was reading this book, Wild Card, which is actually really good, by Jen Cowney and Fiona Lensvelt, and I looked up what they thought about the pages, and the first thing they say is messengers is not the most straightforward shorthand for the pages. And then they go on to talk about how pages are wild children, which is, I agree with that, but also it's my sign when they turn up in a reading for a message coming to the seeker. Knights are progress, action, putting something in motion, going for it, full steam ahead. It can mean actual physical moves, especially Knight of Wands turns up for me when somebody is moving house. Knight of Pentacles is maybe starting a new study. So these are all things that I've learnt obviously from books and from other readings, because I used to go when I was 16 to a little shop in Covent Garden called Mysteries, and then you go up the creaky stairs and there'd be tarot readers sitting in the little cubby holes, and I used to go there quite frequently and have many readings over the years. I don't know if it's still there now, actually, Mysteries. I think it's moved somewhere else. But yeah, and so then I started picking up, obviously, from people that were reading for me as well. So they've influenced my style of reading. The Queens, I see them as an understanding energy, some deeper knowledge of a situation or a higher perspective. And the Kings are the masters. They've mastered their situation, they're in control, they've got boss energy, sort of learned professory type things. And I'm not saying here, by the way, that a king has to be male and a queen has to be female. It is an energy that we have both inside of us, masculine, feminine, and it's just the way that those energies are expressed. So yeah, genderless. But also there's sort of negatives with the cards, and I don't read reversals as a rule. Sometimes I will ask the person asking the question to turn over maybe 6 cards out of the pack for a reading, but on the whole I don't read reversals because I can tell from the surrounding cards whether there's any reverse meanings that are supposed to be taken from the spread. So, you know, the opposite of the curiosity of the page is naivety and getting into situations, sticky situations, daydreaming, procrastinating. Knights can be know-it-alls, they can be manipulative and tricky customers. Queens can have a narrow focus, be self-interested and controlling. And with the Kings, the negativity coming across with the King energy is greed, jealousy, controlling of knowledge and power over other people, and all that bad stuff. I do sometimes, if people are asking me questions about specific scenarios involving other people, I can read the court cards as people. Not often though, so I would then just have the corresponding zodiac sign or element for the elements, so fire signs for wands. I think we get this the right way around. Air signs would be swords, water signs would be cups, and earth signs would be pentacles, court cards in a reading. Also, sometimes you do a spread and lots of court cards will come up, and that's not the clearest reading, and it does mean to me that there's a lot of confusion around it. People are chipping in their views, there's a lot of different opinions, even you're conflicted and confused, and in that case I would look at more cards around them, pull the dreaded clarifier, and just check whether they're the same or different suit, try a different spread. So yeah, and the other thing as a person I wanted to say about when they come up as specific people. So I did have a reading that I did this year of a daughter asked for a reading, and then a mum asked for a reading a couple of days later. And in the daughter's reading, I saw some kind of conflict. The Queen of Swords was coming up in their home and environment position, and I did see that there was arguments. There was a lot of 5s coming up for them. And then with the mum, the Queen of Swords came up again, but she came up in the challenges position, so straight out the bat. And so that to me indicated that it was somebody of her own age and also somebody close to her, and it turned out to be her sister. So that's how I could identify that it was an actual person in their reading. So yeah, the other thing is I read multiples of pages as different things. So if you have 2 pages, I would see that as conflicting advice. 3 pages is somebody who's a bit of a Peter Pan character and probably needs to grow up and take responsibility for some things. And 4 pages, traditionally, if you Google it, it means illness. And I don't read health concerns. I don't read 4 pages as illness either, so I do see that as a significator of many children around, whether you work with children, and children being a big influence on your life. So I hope you found this interesting. Please do VR. Do You Even Court, which is Levi's tag. I'll put it on my video as well. I'm really interested, like Levi said as well, to hear how other people read court cards, because every reader is different, and we've all got our own things that we've picked up along the way. So yeah, I hope to see you and your videos soon, or leave a comment in the box. All right, thanks. Bye.